Good morning.
Good morning, Graciela. Welcome, everybody, to Cacao Conversations with Julieta and Graciela. So, how is it up in North Carolina this morning?
Well, today is Tuesday, October 15th or so. I am very cozy, thank goodness, in my home. I have actually I'm going to take a minute to talk about the Blue Ridge Mountains. I am supporting my friend Carlos Marrero. He does scarves, and I have my beautiful new Blue Ridge Parkway scarf that I bought. He does live in Asheville, and it's been really inspiring to see him because he's working really, really hard to be a part of the community and go out and, get supplies where they need to be and serve food and things like that, which he says, I've been watching him on socials, and he says that part uplifts him because he also sustained a lot of losses with his business. His business literally just was wiped down. He says he found 2 or 3 little things that he had in his shop, but other than that, there's nothing. So in an effort to support him, I purchased my scarf. So I'm just going to do a shameless plug for Carlos Marrero. Please go check him out and buy something, help him. There's so many folks that just flat out need donations, and that's amazing. And if you can buy something from an artist, it's even more fulfilling, be able to help them move their things. But anyway, and then I also happen to have my blue mug today that I got here locally in Murphy. So Murphy's freezing. It is like 35 degrees. I wore every stitch of clothing this morning to take the kids to school. So yeah, it's still only fall. So we'll see how this develops. This will be interesting.
It'll be like January 15th, and breaking news, Graciela's moving back to Florida.
It's over. Well, I was thinking that this morning. I'm like, nope, still would rather be cold and in amongst the trees than warm and amongst the cars. So you can see behind me, we still have lots of green on the trees. Some of them are red and yellow, and it's been in some of the, there's like 2 or 3 that are naked, but it's been really neat to watch. So I'm excited to see it move forward,
Nice.
How are you been?
Doing good, super busy, doing all the things, all the things. There's so many things these days.
How about the hot yoga? How's the hot yoga going?
So, well, it's been, it was kind of a bit crazy with my schedule, Trent coming back. We've been a 1-car family for a little while. So I actually went back for the first time in a few weeks on Tuesday. And what's always weird to me is I think when I haven't gone for a little while, it's going to be hard. And I actually feel like that first time back is like easy. And then, of course, he did this sequence that apparently everybody else hates because it's like apparently really difficult. But it's like the one that I'm like, yeah, do this one every time. This one's easy. So I'm like, yet again, proof that Julieta is an alien, not a human, because I always like the things that other people don't like. But so it's always good to get back and realize, like, yes, I do like yoga. I did miss it, and I do want to keep doing it. So I will be there at the 11:15 class today if anybody out there listening wants to join me.
I like that. I like when you were posting all the people that were joining you once in a while. It was really cool. And I think that that's honestly for me is one of my biggest hurdles is like, number one, getting in the car and driving. Like once I sit in the car, I could drive for hours, no problem. But the getting in and out of the car, I don't know if it's an ADHD thing. I don't know what it is, but it is the most irritating thing in the world to me. But knowing that you're going to have an accountability partner, like you're going to have a buddy there, that your buddy's waiting on you, that that to me does help, knowing that like, I don't want to go, but if I don't go, I'll disappoint Julietta. So, all right, I'll go, So I love that you're putting that out there and that you got, buddies to go.
And it is another way of, like you were talking about, supporting other small businesses. So when I go and I check in there and do this, like it's supporting them. They have definitely gotten other people to come to their classes because of my posting, and people, like it was so sweet. I don't know if you remember back when I first started, and it was a challenge to start, but there were people that literally like just came to go with me to like show their support of me starting yoga again after 20 years. So that was really cool too.
Yeah. And I think it's important because, we always talk about, this world is such a blah, blah place, right? Insert whatever your, negative feelings are. But there are so many amazing, beautiful things happening. And I think the more you call them out, the better you feel, the better, the more it perpetuates more of that, so much of the information that is slammed into our, faces, whether it's social media, news, even just people, water cooler conversation, let's also remember to talk about the good things, because those things are really happening and they do feel good and all is not lost. There's always hope, I remember reading, I think
look at the world and the world will change.
Well, and so, yeah, getting one more person to go to yoga, getting your one friend to just have a conversation. Yesterday I had the pleasure of making a new friend. It was a potential client called, and we spent about 10 minutes talking about photography and about another 20 minutes talking about life. And just having that conversation really made my day. It propelled her forward. Now she wants to come to some of our events, and that's going to perpetuate. And then she'll go back and share that with her children and their children. And truly, 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 if you want to heal the world, heal yourself, honestly. And it's not as hard as it sounds. When I was in my 20s and 30s, even, I really thought healing myself was like this giant, incredible mountain. And now at 50, it feels so like it's such a relief. And it feels so good, to have a lot of those things, resolved, that I look forward to the rest of the journey. Like, okay, I noticed today I was triggered by XYZ. Let me see how I get myself together and move on to the next thing, because it's always a practice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we're talking about how we see things, our topic for today is, what's your vision for your life in the next year? So, and it's interesting because I feel like this past year we both like did so many things and created so many changes in our life. Sometimes I'm like, okay, does next year get to be like a pass year and easy? But I don't think it will be.
Have you ever had a pass year? Let's just go back in history. Has there ever been a year that you're like, man, X year, that was my year, that was amazing? I don't know.
Well, and like, I'm not talking about like past year, easier. I'm just saying, like, there definitely have been years in my life where I was not working so actively on creating so many things in my life, like especially the years where I used to have a job and go work for somebody. Like, that's kind of what I did. I like got up and went to work every day. And yes, I was like making a difference in the world, like healing people, teaching people to walk again, people, sit up, like all of those things were important, but it wasn't so much like manifestation work it was just like plugging through every day. Whereas now I feel like I'm constantly working on something new and having all these ideas, what else I'm going to create. And So it's a very different life right now than probably in my late 20s and early 30s,
Yeah.
maybe
I,
in
it
my
sounds,
40s as well.
I think we're always creating and we're always manifesting, but having the awareness of it makes it so much sweeter, you know? Like while I had my legal job, for example, that it was in some ways you go in, you clock in, you do your work, you clock out. Like, yes, there's a lot of that that was very automatic, like autopilot, not requiring a lot of, awareness, so to speak. But had I, in that moment, said, okay, this is what I'm experiencing now, this is what I want to experience in the future, then I could have like manifested all of those things sooner, and manifest, bring to fruition, create the life that I want, whatever, I know everybody uses the word manifest now. So like for those of you that are rolling your eyes, it's okay. You're always manifesting something. The best example I got was my friend with telling me the story about manifesting a pizza. You have a feeling in your body that makes you hungry and you think about a pizza, and then that forces you to do some action, like pick up the phone and call. And then magically 30 minutes later, what you envisioned only in your mind is now on a plate, so call it manifesting a pizza, call it, being hungry and placing an order. It's all the same.
But what I like to do is manifest a pizza and have someone else like magically order it, and it shows up at my door, and I'm like, wow, I thought of a pizza and it showed up. It happens.
Sometimes that happens. We just have to develop the mental telepathy part of us better.
Graciela, order me a pizza.
Don't be surprised if you get a pizza today. You see? So what is your vision for your life in this next year? Have you started putting together thoughts for that? It is already October.
Well, obviously, like the list keeps going on, and we do have our two big retreats planned for next year. Our 4 elements up in the North Georgia mountains, and Day of the Dead in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. So, and there's all like, I was, working on the website and putting up all the events, and, it used to be like 1, maybe 2 events a month. Now it's like at least 1 event every week. Some weeks there's 2 events. And so it's really exciting. Like the universe just keeps pushing, and some of these things I'm like, 2 people are showing up, like it's time, I'm gonna quit this one, and someone will say, no, you're not quitting it yet, this is important, they're gonna come, you just got to give them some time. And so it all just keeps going, and super invested in the power of community and what happens when we come together as groups, as opposed to just 1 or 2 of us working together. So my vision for 2025, or the next, maybe we're talking the next 12 months instead of the next year, but lots of more community is my vision.
Yeah, I love that. And every time that I think no one's listening, this is never going to work, the artist, I call it the artist arc, where you're like, I'm a genius, this is terrible, okay, not so bad, no, this is the worst thing I've ever done, yay, we're doing something amazing. I go through that whole thing with everything, with my business, with my life, with my children, with everything. And there's always one person that reaches a new milestone. And when I get that, I'm like, oh man, that's it. Like, that's the high. Like, it's worth it. Like seeing people reach new levels and new awarenesses. And it's just so gratifying. Like, I love our retreats, the ones that we already have planned, the ones that we're planning. all of those little events, they just unfold so beautifully. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I need it more than I think I do. Like we all need it more than we think we do. Um, Really, I was raised very, and I don't mean just as a child, I mean like as an adult, society raised me very independent, very like, I got this, I can do anything, lift heavy things and build things and just do all the things. But no one ever taught me to sit down and just be with other women. I guess if I really thought back, maybe when I was little, like the holidays, when we all sat together as family. But even now, just being with my kids and spending time with community like that, just women getting together, women and men, men too, God bless them, love them. It's just so vital. So yeah, for me, well, I started a whole new life here. So I kind of am starting from scratch in a lot of ways. I'm about to join the local chamber, so get to know my local business community. I don't know if I said it out loud last time we had a show, but I did sign a new lease on a space. That's going to be ready in the next couple of weeks. Lots of construction going on. So my big vision for the next year is just keeping my kids in line. They're teenagers, so of course their dreams are my dreams. I have no choice. And yeah, just growing this business, and more personal growth for sure. Each of our events, each of our retreats, they're just as much for me as they are for our attendees. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making a whole new vision board, to be honest with you. I'm like, I already have a few pictures in my head that I want to start putting together.
So I just added in the comments section the link to, drum roll please, our Manifest Your Magic, the Ultimate Body and Soul Vision Board Masterclass. And it's going to be online, so this is awesome that so many of our events have happened here in the Fort Lauderdale area. And so I've had numerous comments over the years, like, when are you going to do something online? When are you going to do something online? So here it is. We are doing something online.
I'm really, yeah. I was just going to say, I'm really excited for it. And I hope folks notice that it is called a masterclass and not just a workshop. Julian and I are very intentional on how we pick our words and how we put our things together. You can imagine the amount of spreadsheets and documents I have going on. But what I'm really excited about is that it's not just like, get your crayons and your poster board and let's do this real quick. It's like, no, get the tools that we use in our workshops, in our cacao ceremonies, in our retreats, and use those tools to create that vision board, and I know even sometimes vision board sounds a little like hokey, like, oh, I have it all in my mind. Do I really need, a visual reminder of it? And I will tell you, I can't wait to share it in the class, my vision board that I created last year, how that has come to fruition. Like, so much stuff on that board. I have to now, because it's virtual, it's digital. I have it as my screen or as my background on my computer. But I get to remove a lot of those things and be like, okay, I did that. Okay, I did that, and I can see myself creeping closer and closer to some of the other things that are on there. And then there are a few that I'm like, okay, that one's going to take a lot longer than I thought. But it's really, I don't know, it's really cool and exciting. And I love the dopamine hit of accomplishing something. Sometimes when I make a to-do list and I do something that I wasn't on the list, I write it down and then I cross it off just for the satisfaction of crossing it off. So a vision board is like that times 12. But I will say I would not have accomplished all the big major life changes that I have if I didn't have that constant reminder in front of me of like, don't forget you're doing this, you know? So I probably will be a lifelong vision boarder. Border. Is that a word?
I love making up words. Uh, so yeah, the link, if you want to sign up and join us, is in the comments section. And you can always head over to our events page, Body and Soul Events.love. All of the fun stuff that we're doing is there, and including we now have a pop-up quiz on our website, and it's been really fun seeing people, take the quiz and seeing the results come in. And this quiz is all about, what spiritual tools will work the best for you in your life in doing this work. And I do have to say that the group stuff is by and far like winning out over all of the other things. So yeah, it's just kind of confirmation that these group activities that we're doing, whether they be online workshops, in-person workshops, the cacao ceremonies, and the retreats, like people are really craving these things of getting together. And scientifically it's been proven that when you come together in groups and do stuff, the power of that is far greater than when you're working on something on your own.
Yeah. And I think all the tools are important at different times. I think there is a time for, quiet introspection, and there's a time to go into the trees and, be there by yourself for a while. And there is absolutely a strength in coming together too. So, and I also know that a lot of this can be super overwhelming, especially when you don't know what half the words mean that people are using. We had, I think now we've kind of become cacao evangelists, but at the beginning, and even now still quite a bit, I get, well, what's cacao? What does that even do? What, is that psychedelic? What's that about? Everything's psychedelic now, so, I think what I love about the quiz is like when you're overwhelmed and you're like, I don't even know where to start. I just know that I don't want to feel the way that I feel right now. And I would say that's a really good starting point. I have a feeling that I don't like, and I don't want to feel this feeling. Where do I go from here? Super fun. What is it? 5 questions, I think. Easy, quick and easy. And there's no wrong answers because it's your gut feel. It's, you know what you like and you know what you don't like. And all we're doing with.
We lost Graciela for a moment. So, but yeah, we're just bringing like-minded individuals together. I also hear so often that people will say, I don't know who I can talk to about this. Like, none of my friends are into this stuff. And if you are and none of your friends are, it's time to come and meet new friends. And even the men's group that we had last week, I served cacao to the men, but then I left and left our other co-founder, Trent, to facilitate the group. And so many of the men came and said, like, I have friends, but I don't have friends that I can connect to in this way. And so these groups that we offer are a completely safe space for you to come in and share from your heart and get the support that you need. And are you back, Graciela? Can we hear you now? I don't think so. I thought I saw movement there, like we might get her back. And she's moving again. Is she back?
I'm here.
There she is. We lost you for a couple minutes, so I don't know if you realized you were lost, so I just started talking. Oh, and she's lost again. I'm here by myself. All right. Well, I think that is plenty for today. Again, check the comments if you would like to register for that vision board class, and that will be in November. But there's tons of other stuff coming up. And oh, here she is.
I need to manifest mountaintop Wi-Fi better. That's
right. Especially for our masterclass. So it is, am I correct? Is it November 2nd at 9 a.m. and it'll be about 2 hours long, and you'll create your vision board and learn a whole bunch of other tools to make your vision board that much more effective than if you just, stick pictures on a piece of poster board. So
yeah, it's going to be very experiential. So definitely sign up and give this to yourself. Give yourself plenty of space. Give yourself 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. Grab your cup of cacao or tea or coffee or whatever, and just really take this time. And I don't know if you mentioned this while I was off in intranet land, but a vision board doesn't have to be, first of all, it doesn't have to be anything you don't want it to be. You can literally create whatever you want. There's no rules. And it doesn't have to necessarily be for 2025. What if you want a goal for the next 2 months? What if you're like, I'm set for the next couple months. What I really need to think about is second quarter because XYZ with my business or my family or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The point is, let's figure out how to get a goal, put a visual on it, how to use the other tools that we have honed in on over these last couple of years, and we have personally used to create the lives that we want. And we want to share that with you guys. So anyway, I hope you join us. I think it'll be really, really cool.
I think the other part I love too is that it's digital. And so it's not something like when we were talking, you had asked about, do I have a vision board? And like the last vision board that I created, it was on paper, and I'm massively purging in my world and getting rid of stuff. And I took it, I looked at it, and I was like, cool, I did those things, a couple things I hadn't accomplished, but most of the stuff I had, and I was like, okay, cool. And I stuck it in the garbage bin. And so digital versions can live forever because they don't take up physical space. So, and you'll have a template. So like if you create it and then you change it, you can go in and change things anytime.
That's true. And if the time likes paper, great, you can do both. You have it done digital. Go to your local printer, print a giant poster if you want to. Like there's lots of options. You can keep it on your phone. You can keep it on your computer. Definitely just keep it in front of your face. But anyway, we will get into all of that during the class. It's not that far away. So yeah, can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be, wait to do mine. Like I'm already starting to brainstorm. I'm excited.
Nice. All right. And with that, and as you're frozen again, I will wish everybody a magical day, and we will see you next week.
Bye.